There were a few raised eyebrows yesterday, Simon. I must admit, I was in Sky Sports News and I watched him. Gareth Bale just sat as cool as you like. Of course, in the build-up to Belgium-Wales, he was put up to talk to the media. And as if from nowhere, really, he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going back to Madrid. Have a listen to this."
The main reason I obviously came to Spurs this year was obviously I wanted to play football first and foremost, but going into Euros, I wanted to be match fit. So, the original plan was only to do a season at Spurs, and then after the Euros, I still have a year left at Real Madrid, and as far as my plan obviously is to go back, and that's as far as I plan, to be honest.
So that was that. He was quite open about it. Yeah, the plan was always to go back, and as well, coming to Tottenham was part of a plan to get fit for me playing for Wales in the Euros. Now, there were a number of Tottenham fans last night who were saying, "Hang on a second, has he used us here?" You know, like so many of us were outside the training ground when Bale came back. So he wants to get fit to play for Wales in the Euros, and he was always going to go back to Real Madrid. So what's going on? So this morning I caught up with Jonathan Barnett, his representative, and Jonathan for once was like, "Lovely to speak to you. How are you? Fine. How are you? Fine." But yeah, it's all been taken out of context and I have nothing more to say on that. And he was good to his word. Wouldn't say another word in it. What's your take on it, Simon?
Well, I mean, I would suspect that's probably the right thing for Jonathan to have said. I mean, Gareth Bale, I mean, I would also think that a lot of Tottenham fans would give a sigh of relief to think that he's going back to Real Madrid, because his contribution this year has been very, very limited. I don't actually think that Gareth Bale said anything particularly wrong. I think it's a statement of fact that he wanted to play football. He wasn't going to play at Madrid. If Tottenham were fool enough to take him and be part of an equation that got him match fit, with the main beneficiaries being Wales, then that's Tottenham's choice. Tottenham fans may well have been lulled into an idea that some Hollywood signing from the Gareth Bale that they once saw was going to land inside their door and catapult them.
Well, be honest, we're all thinking that.
I wasn't. I sat there last summer going, "Why are we doing this transaction? Why would Tottenham want Gareth Bale? What is it? What is a Hollywood signing? Gareth Bale isn't fit. He isn't fit for purpose at Real Madrid. Why would he be fit for purpose at Tottenham?" I didn't see it as a good signing. I saw the Hollywood sign of it. I saw the social media ramifications of it and the benefit of elevating perhaps some ailing perspectives on Tottenham Hotspur's marketability. But I didn't see it as a football signing. And I think him going back to Madrid, well, look, he's going to say to Madrid, "I'm coming back," because he knows full well that Madrid don't want him, and that is part of a negotiating tactic, I suspect, to make sure that Madrid are facilitatory in allowing Gareth Bale to go where he wants to go next. Because whichever way you look at it, for Jonathan Barnett, Gareth Bale is a cash cow, and the next move that he moves him for will also enable another facilitation of financial opportunity. So I'm not surprised Jonathan said, "Thanks, but no thanks," is taken out of context. I imagine it was taken out of context in the same way that when Gareth stood in front of a flag saying Wales, Golf and Real Madrid, in that order, was taken out of context.
Well, you see, I mean, many Tottenham fans, Trevor, feel that they've been let down a bit. They're a bit disrespected by Gareth Bale. There's Dean in the Cotswolds this morning, one of many messages coming in. Is Bale a bit dim, or could he just not care less? I mean, could Gareth Bale not have sat there yesterday and said, "Do you know what, I came back to Tottenham to try and win something with them"? Would that not have been appropriate yesterday?
Yeah, I think he could have said that. But the fact that they're sixth in the Premier League, they're out of Europa League, I don't think that would have come across well to the fans. Maybe they're going to have a chance against Manchester City in the League Cup final. But I think it was premeditated what he said, and I think Jonathan Barnett would have been behind that and would have understood what was going to be said. I think for one, he's protecting his name, the brand, because what if Tottenham come out in a few months or a couple of months and say, "Oh, but we don't want to re-sign or we don't want to keep Gareth Bale"? Where does he stand then? You know, he's going back to Real Madrid with his tail between his legs. I think he's safeguarding his own brand, and I think it was premeditated. On top of that, you know, he's being honest. You know, he has gone to Spurs to try and get fit and to try and get match fit so that he can, one, go into this World Cup qualifier tonight, which Wales haven't qualified since 1958, and try and get them over the line to qualify for the World Cup. And also, you know, to be ready for the summer for Wales's European hopes. So I think there was a couple of reasons why he went there. Obviously, the Hollywood signing, and we don't know whether he was fit enough or he has been fit enough. You know, Jose Mourinho can be a little bit awkward with players at times. And what we have seen when he has played, I thought he's been excellent the last month. also his performances. So how are we to know that he wasn't ready for them performances earlier on in the season? Because, as you know, Simon, some players are quite laid back in training, and they like to keep a little bit back, and they like to just, get themselves ready for big games and then turn it on. Not all players are the same, that they can turn up in training and give 100% and look busy, and players are different, especially when you get to that level. We're talking elite, world-class players. Sometimes they just want to go through the motions in training.
Yeah, but Trevor, cast your mind back. Tottenham rolled out the red carpet for Bale when they came back. We saw the fanfare was huge for him. Their social media department was going nuts. We saw the number 9 getting printed in the back of the shirt. This is Bale's shirt.
But that's
he was sitting there with Regulon saying, "By God, you'll enjoy this club. This is going to be wonderful."
Football is show business, and part and parcel of it is marketing the product that you brought in, because we all know that Bale is a huge name, and it was a really massive transfer or loan.
And he's earned that right as well,
for
Simon,
media. Let me ask you a question, Trevor. Do you believe then that Jose Mourinho was instrumental, or a big influence in the loan acquisition of Gareth Bale?
You can't be 100% sure either way.
Do you, Simon?
Well, given the currency, Mourinho operate. We saw the documentary All or Nothing. We saw the reaction from Daniel Levy to Jose Mourinho. We see the court that he holds in football clubs until a point where he falls away. If Gareth Bale was indeed a Mourinho signing, why would Mourinho be tricky with him if he wasn't at it on the training ground? But for the simple reason was he wasn't at it on the training ground. Because if Mourinho wanted him and wanted to sign him, surely if Bale was fit for purpose earlier on in the season, he would have played him.
Well, I think Bale's comments yesterday, so many eyebrows were raised by what he said, that we have to try and put this into some kind of context, because we only really have half the story, and Jonathan Barnett didn't want to put it. He said it's been taken out of context. The question to me is, why has Gareth Bale seemingly been allowed to use Tottenham as something of a stepping stone to fitness to get himself ready for the Euros in Wales, and to a large degree has he disrespected many of the Tottenham fans who were out in numbers at the training ground saying, "Welcome back, he's one of our own"? Let me know what you think on that. 08717 223344 81089.